Derek Myers. Co-captain of the Alien, 6'9" from Serbia, number 14, Tomislav Emotion. 6'7" from Latvia, number 6, Giannis Tima. 6'3" from Serbia, a bronze medal winner at the Olympic Games, the captain for Alien, number 11, Dusan He spent 18 seasons in the NBA, winning a title in 1989 as one of the bad boys in Detroit. He later formed one half of the NBA top rebounding duo for the 76ers. The head coach for Aliens, Rick Mahorn.
Should I go? Kostia.
Almost over.
No! Oh no. This has been like a cursed weekend. He's just floating around the middle of the country.
This bullshit for 6 more games.
We're going to 28.
Hey, there was nothing to get us out of time. How do you order up another one of those 35-minute games?
That'd be nice.
I mean, all of us
take that
are,
right-
most
I'd
of us
take
are
that
on
right
6
now.
or 6:30 tomorrow morning. I need to
Get-
call. Yeah, back
Get all the
I got
Europeans,
it
if
direct
they
to
shoot well, it might happen.
Ronald Reagan DCA from Memphis on American, the American.
Yes. Yep.
Well, we're going to go, I mean, well, hopefully we'll find something open around here after 10 o'clock. Today is Saturday. And Everybody that moves on through with 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. Got food. Sustenance. There's a place at the old corn that everybody was talking about. No, Robbie was closed. You know that. They're at 10. We're not going to get there. We're about 2 minutes.
An incredible and exciting week in Memphis rolls on. Enemies against aliens to wrap things up here in the City of Blues in week 4 of the Big 3. And 4 teams moving to 3-1. The Killer Threes joining Ghost Ballers, Triplets, and Power. And in this game, the enemies will try to avoid going 1-3. The aliens still looking for their first win. Welcome inside FedEx Forum in Memphis. Lone Martin alongside the legend and Hall of Famer Nancy Lieberman, who picked up a win in her own right, going to 3-1 with Power today. But we've got these 2 teams still trying to find their footing here this season.
Well, I was surprised with the aliens because they're such a really great team, a Euro team. They run, they pass, they cut. But they weren't able to get all their players over early, and so you have to shake up the lineup a little bit, which hurts Dusant in what he's trying to do. And the enemies, they're just a competitive team. I'm sure they're disappointed they're 1-2, but they have a chance to, bring it to 2-2 if they play well today. But I know the enemies, the aliens really do need a win.
Jordan Crawford has been leading the aliens this season, hoping to get them to that even record right now. But he's the leading scorer entering today in the Big 3.
He's just one of the superior players, especially offensively. He's just got a beautiful stroke from 3. You can't go under screens on him. You have to push up. You have to create some physicality and make him a 2-point shooter.
And the aliens at 0-3 bring in reinforcements in the form of Kostya Mushidi, who has just entered the Big 3. This is his very first game in the Big 3. He is German, scored 14 points in the 2017 Nike Hoop Summit, so he is going to be making his debut already with the title of co-captain. Dusan Bullet, the leader of this team. We saw Tomislav Ivas last season as well with the aliens with their international flavor. Nick Young along with Elijah Stewart, Isaiah Austin, Quincy Miller, and Jordan Crawford as well. And Nick Young also playing the role of player coach, just like Gerald Green did in our last game, with Bivouac coming out on losing end. Gilbert Arenas not with the team right now. And on the other side is Rick Mahorn with his 0-3 squad. He's the 2017 Big 3 Coach of the Year with Trilogy, so he knows what it takes to win in this league.
Well, he knows how to win anywhere. He won 2 championships with the Detroit Pistons. My buddy, my lifelong buddy, has just dropped about 70 pounds, and he looks fantastic, taking all that stress off his hips. He was a great player, great teammate, and he's a fantastic coach. And the only player who's not probably a Euro is Derek Byers. He's from Memphis.
Bob inside and a quick first score for the aliens, and Giannis Tima.
Hey, that's a professional shooter right there, Tima.
It's a thing with international players, whether it is men or women. They are players that play professionally at a very young level. They play against adults from a young age and just have that composure to their game, just like shots like that, but too short that time from Tima.
Yeah, well, you're absolutely right. They play club ball. They're professionals by the time they're 14 years old. Instead of us going to college, they end up playing as pros.
Crawford nets his first look, touches nothing. Just a perfect swish as he's had a fantastic start to his season. Long inside. Gets away from Byers.
But Jordan Crawford knows exactly where he is. He sees the distance, he sizes it up, and Tima goes back, doesn't push up on him, and he just rises up for the shot.
Poked away by Tima.
And I will say this about Derek Byers. A lot of these guys played for me. Dusan played for me in the Big 3. Derek Byers, he's a great, great shooter. So I think this is an excellent pickup by the aliens.
And the 3 is good. Jordan Crawford already with 5 points. All of the enemies scoring so far. Came in averaging over 21 points per game. The give and go, and then the kick out to Byers. Perfection for Aliens.
That is just gorgeous basketball. The give and go, it has lasted for generations. Somebody has to go over and be that help guy, and then you have a shooter like Derek Byers, and that's a money shot.
Tima forcing Austin to fall away. That works well. And he's going to look for his own shot. Misfiring there. But the Aliens, he's seen some great ball movement from them so far.
Look at this, the give, the go, here comes the help from Austin, and all Derek Byers has to do is lift, square up, and shoot.
Bullet was just such a great addition to the big three with his 3-on-3 prowess, the smarts he has, the ability to shoot, second effort, earns Derek Byers a trip to the charity stripe.
You know, he's one of the great 3-on-3 winners in the history of European basketball. And initially, Rick Barry picked him, and then he had to play. You know, they wouldn't let him out of his contract in Europe. And then the next year, he went back in the draft. We took him. Power did, and he missed 3 games because he was at the Olympics getting that medal of his. He comes back, and he was a very important part of our team. And then, you know, Cube wanted to go international and, you know, give him his own team.
He really is the leader of this Alien squad. As Crawford gives it up to Stewart. How about the and one? A 4-point play coming up.
When you can space the floor with guys like that, you have Austin under the basket one more time, you get it. See, shooters don't think. Shooters just shoot, because if you think, then the defense closes out on you. The great ones, they live and die with that confidence.
Always have been very jealous of the people who can turn off the thinking when they're on the basketball court.
Well,
not easy.
No, I mean, I was never a thinker. I was a read and react, and so much of that is confidence in what you do.
Off the miss, it is Austin. Loses his goggles. Stewart. Strong off glass.
Somebody should pick up these goggles, maybe the officials, because there it goes. Nice job for the officials.
I want to see those protected. Crawford pulls up. Tries to get his own rebound. It goes out of play. 9-7 is the enemy's lead. Looking to improve to 2-2 this season. It feels like these 1-2 teams came into this week, I don't want to say fighting for their playoff lives, but really if you're 1-3, that's making things a whole lot harder for you.
Well, 0-4, 1-3, and you know, you're really digging yourself in because, you know, the top 4 teams make it to the playoffs. You got to get into the playoffs to be able to play when you go to London for the championship.
Not even every team makes it to week 8 anyway.
Well, that's enough incentive, right?
Everyone wants to keep playing as long as possible as that shot by Stewart goes over the top of the backboard.
You know, when you're a team like Trilogy that's won 3 championships, you know, we can turn around and say, well, you know, Power's got great culture. We've been to the finals 3 times. Well, they've won it 3 times. So not only do they have good culture, they have good winning mentality.
There's a lot of teams right now you can make that case for, but you're talking about back-to-back champions as well under Steven Jackson and Trilogy. 1 second left for Stewart. He beats the shot clock with a beautiful shot.
You know what I just love when players have recognition? As he was cutting up Stewart, he was looking at the shot clock, so he knew it was a catch and release.
Crawford keeps his hot streak going, and the enemy's doubling up the Aliens right now, 14-7. And Jordan Crawford with 6 points already. He has the hottest stroke in the big 3 right now on display. Stewart as well to beat the shot clock. They are operating full tank right now.
Got
Yeah. Okay. All right, we'll try and check in with Coach Mahorn in just a moment as he's coaching up his team on the sideline. Crawford going to work against Ivasev. Highly difficult shot, and he earns the foul.
He's just really good about understanding where the pressure is, physical pressure on you, and he goes opposite for his shot. Hey, Rick, can you hear us? Coach, can you hear us?
I hear you a little bit.
Hey, what are you liking about what your team is doing now?
I'm not liking anything right now. We're bailing them out. Box out long. We're bailing them out, giving them a chance and opportunity. Giving them too many opportunities to get open shots. We got to move the ball. We got to make them play defense. They're not a great defensive team.
Coach, what did you talk to your team about coming into what feels like, from the outside, is a must-win game that you wanted to accomplish today?
Yeah, it's a must-win game every time we get on the court. It's you're 0-3, you're fighting up, and pressure starts dealing with you differently, trying to win. Take him off the dribble. Sorry.
Hey, Rick,
I'm sorry, man. Go ahead.
with bringing in Musetti to your team, what are you hoping to get out of him?
Get Dusan. He's going to bring us that energy, hopefully, and it can all, sustain it.
All right,
Hopefully
Coach.
it can sustain it, and just looking for something to, boost us.
Well, Coach, looking forward to see what he brings. Appreciate your time very much. Good luck the rest of the way. That is the new addition, as you brought up, Nancy. Kostya Mushidi joining this team. You see him on the floor, number 1 down there in the paint against the player coach today, Nick Young of the Enemies. There he threads the needle. Beautiful look, and it's going to be an and one.
One of the things that Coach Mahorn was saying is that, talking about the Enemy's defense, they're not really playing hard. They're in a switch or they're in a drop. It's not really that physicality type of defense, and that's why Tomislav was able to just slip that and go to the rim.
Ivashev, a traditional three-point play, so it will be one free throw for 1 point, but he does not complete it. The Enemies closing in on halftime, first to 25. Another long-range 2 goes, this time Quincy Miller. It's been hot shooting for the Enemies.
Quincy is a really super addition to this team. He was, on the Three-Headed Monsters, and what he likes to do is pick and pop. So, they got some shooters here. They got Isaiah Austin, who's big and just really attacking.
That is a true 7-footer there in Austin, earning himself a trip to the free throw line. And that foul is going to go against Ivashev. But Coach Mahorn's reaction and demeanor, kind of exactly what you would expect from someone who's 0-3 and whose team is down by more than double figures now.
Well, he's a champion at every single level. I mean, when he played at Hampton, he's probably one of the most all-time great players to play at an HBCU at Hampton. Then he goes to the NBA. He was a major cog to those championship teams. And you mentioned it, he was Coach of the Year in 2017. This man is used to success.
Wild play to try and keep that ball in bounds. Good effort by all those players involved. Multiple making efforts to try and keep possession. And it will be Aliens ball. Just with 9 points as the Enemies could send this to halftime the next moment they get the ball. Mushidi, his very first Big 3 game, gets it to Tima. Chased down by Miller. Getting around Mushidi, takes the bump. and finishes.
Yeah, I think he's going to find out the Big Three is a very physical league, and if you try to cut him off, see how he tried to cut him off right there? And you go into the player because you take away his recovery angle and space.
This can add to what is now a 20-2 run for the enemies. Make it 21-2, and that brings us to halftime. A dominant lead. The enemies putting on a clinic in Memphis right now. 26-9 is their lead at the half. I mean, no. The greatest comeback in Big Three history. Can you just write that out for me?
Give me the normal 30 seconds.
It is all aliens here at FedEx Forum. Over the aliens who have still not won a game this year in the Big Three. Sloan Martin, Nancy Lieberman along with you. And maybe even if you thought the the enemies were going to be coming away with a victory today, still surprising how dominant they were.
I'm not surprised how dominant the enemies are. I mean, this is just a bad deck of cards that's being handed to the aliens. You don't have your players on time. You're trying to bring in different guys to see if they can fit. And learning the Big Three game, there's a learning curve in that. So, I mean, I'm not surprised.
Well, the biggest performance today has been Jordan Crawford with his 11 points, 6 rebounds, and he's already knocked down 2 threes.
Yeah, he's unbelievable. What he's been able to do, he really set the table early and then opened it up for some of his teammates like, Quincy Miller and Elijah Stewart. They had nice balance in who was getting looks and who was getting shots.
4 players have scored 3 between 6 and 11 points, led by Jordan Crawford, who's the leading scorer on the floor. Derek Byers leading the way for the aliens with 5 points. They have quite a hole to try and dig out of. But again, in the Big Three, no running clock. So if you get stops, get long-range shots to fall, anything's possible. Stewart is foul on the jump shot attempt.
Yeah, all you can do right now for the aliens is keep pressing and trying to get good shots off. You've got amazing scorers on the floor. We talked about Byers is a tremendous scorer. Dusan has range on his shot.
That first half, the aliens led the enemies 7-5. Since then, a 21-2 enemy run to close out that first half, and it's continuing here in the second. But an easy bucket for Bullets right up the middle.
Well, you know what? The give and go is still one of the great things in this game. It's amazing. It's unstoppable if you run it right.
Crawford being guarded by Eva Chef. Crawford can't net it. Aliens 0-3 this season. Tima steps into a 3, and he's got it.
Yeah, you just have to get the ball out quick. You know, you're a great offensive team, not a great defensive team, but you've got to do what makes you special, and they've got special shooters.
No call there, and Tima is able to put it away off the miss.
Well, if that's a way to get back into this game, and now it's only 12 points, then you just chip away. There's no clock. It's just your energy and your effort.
Now a 7-0 run for the Aliens. Crawford behind the back, too smooth.
Man's a heartbreaker. Seriously. You think you're playing good defense, you're working really hard, but you know, sometimes offense is what wins games, right?
That breaks into that run too. You feel like maybe we found something here in the second half as Ivashef is denied. Here's Elijah Stewart and one.
Okay, you know, you're looking at Crawford. Watch his feet. Watch how he gets his feet set. Boom. The spin. He comes back with his counter move, but look at his balance. He never gets outside of himself, and he just rises up. He's not fading one side to the other. And, you know, we just saw Elijah Stewart. Same thing. This team that's on the floor for the enemies, they're so much quicker than the Aliens.
False alarm on that bring fire, by the way. He was maybe looking forward to that, but Elijah Stewart said, I'm just at the free throw line. And he is able to get it to go to complete a 3-point play. Ivashef fouled hard, and he will go to the charity stripe.
That's just a fantastic play. They have the plays. They know how to run their offense.
I think this time we are going to see Bring in the Fire brought by Nick Young. It's going to be Tomislav Ivashef going up against the 7-footer in Isaiah Austin.
Yeah, I think this was good. You know, I saw some really good moves by Swaggy P as he was running over to the Taco Bell Bring the Fire. He was balanced, he bent his knees, and he hit the button square.
By Austin, no buckets. Nick Young made the right decision there.
He did. He did a great job.
I think he really enjoys being a player coach.
Swaggy's just smiling. He's just a happy guy.
He's just having a great time. Here in Memphis is Austin. Come on! From the baskets, and he'll go to the free throw line.
Look at Swaggy P. And this guy just, everybody loves him. Look at him. He's like banging that thing. It's not working. I know that thing's defective. I had to hit it like 4 times today. And look at him. He's just happy for his teammates. He's a super cool guy. And to have him in this league is fabulous.
We're going to bring the fire once more. Only the roles are reversed. So it is Austin facing off against Ivashef. Ivashef pushing him away. It's back to the paint, leading away, and no basket. So if you're Ivashef, you call it even.
If you're the defense, why not be physical? Why not beat the heck out of the guy? The foul was already called on you.
Bullets looking for a whistle there. Is that just grazed front iron? And Austin takes one look at him and can't drain the three. Tima. And the Aliens, after a 7-0 run, have gone cold here in the second, trailing by 17. Crawford netted himself, losing that out of bounds. Great finish on the 3, even with Stewart. He's got a whole lot of hops just jumping right at him.
You can just see how beautiful his shot is. The release is high, it's hard. Everything's following through to the rim.
Stewart's beautiful move to counter right back, scoring over Tima.
That's just a competitor. You just got scored on. give me the ball, and I'm coming at you.
Bullet tries to drop it off to Ivashev. Lands in the hands of Tima again. This time they close out promptly. And he says, I can finish this way too.
Hey, however you can get yourself some points, that's all you need to do.
12 points for Giannis Tima. Let's go along with 4 rebounds as well, a couple threes. Crawford shooting over Tima, and he throws his head back. Come on, is what the defense says. That's the kind of season that Crawford is having right now. The enemy's leading 38-21. Tima throws down the slam, but then it is Crawford scoring right in his face. Actually, the power was better. Power ball box. So it won't be what I'm looking at right now.
No, I said we won't have a horn because they're ready to go. Just let them play. Still not
Score first for Miami. Get ready, Miami. That's the site of the Big 3 Week 5 as we get closer to the postseason. You will not want to miss it, especially the matchups that we're going to be seeing. The enemies taking on the Killer Threes. The Killer Threes moving on to 3-1. Ghost Ballers in power. I'm not just saying this because you're here, Nancy, but that might be the game of the week next week based on what we saw today with how well those teams are executing right now. So jumping out to me is Trilogy and Tri-State, a chance to get above 500, and the triplets at 3-1 taking on this right now winless Alien squad.
Did you see any of my players on the beach? Did they already leave Memphis? I need to look at that film again.
Okay, more incentive to get that win, get to the beach.
Oh, yeah, it's funny my players are all coming in on Wednesday. I'm like, you guys come in the day before. I'm not even going to touch that, but Tima had 8 points in the second half and 12 in the game.
Make it 10
and 14.
He's been really keeping the Aliens afloat. The next highest scorer is Derek Byers, and he hasn't scored much here in the second half.
Yeah, he really hasn't played in the second half, but Byers had 5 early.
Go!
That's how sparse the scoring has been for the Aliens, with the exception of Tima. That would have been behind the backboard taking that shot. Comes away to Crawford, being guarded by the newbie, and no good. Off glass. Sheedy with the defense there as Bullets gets inside and finishes with the left hand.
That's a heck of a drive by Dusan. And he just so savvy how he sees the game, how he plays the game.
He's really setting defense here against Crawford, bringing the pressure.
And this is the I want the clear out right here. Me and you.
Crawford nowhere close there on that long two. Almost saved by Stewart.
So Tima, look at him. He just knows. Okay, he pushed up on the Elijah Stewart did, and you just take away that angle with that straight line drive.
Get up, get up, get up.
Stewart from long range, no good. Bullet runs right into Miller, who snatches it away. And he'll go to the free throw line. And this could give them 40. And you said it earlier, Nancy, when you get to 40, you're just itching for that win.
Yeah, 40 is the magic point because you know you hit a couple threes, get a foul, go to the line, and this thing's over.
Quincy Miller with 7 points, 3 rebounds today.
And plus, the enemies have not had any fouls in this half, so they have 3 fouls to give if they choose to.
The Aliens, on the other hand, with 3. They get to 6. That leads to the bonus. Bullet. The pick and pop, and it works to perfection. Bullet and Tima.
I wonder how many times they've run that play together in their careers.
17 points for Tima. You could tell the way they were communicating. If you watch Bullet, the way he communicates, even just with his eyes.
See, right here, and he knows how to use the screen, and then if you're Miller, you're in a drop because you have to have help on the driver. You just can't. You've got to hope your guy can recover.
Miller, long range too. He drains it.
He loves shooting from the top. You know, every player has a spot where they just, that's where I live.
And you hear coaches say all the time that players need to know how to get to those spots. And it sounds easy. It sounds like, of course, you'd want to get to the places you love to shoot, but it's harder than it sounds.
You know, there's 9 spots on the floor where shooters can get to, and there's only 7 ways that you can guard them. Do the math. You'll be on the plane back to Minnesota. Nancy said there's 9 spots and 7 ways to defend them. And if you are a player, the great offensive players know how to get to their spots to either get a shot up or to get fouled in those spots.
Crawford looking like one of those players this season, entering today as the leading scorer. The big 3, that was a tough shot. And the enemies methodically getting closer and closer. They have been crisp this entire game too. Looking cohesive, but Tima gets away. Stewart, the block, and the 2.
You got to play through contact. You got to play through whatever the calls are. We know this.
Rick Mahorn is going to call timeout, knowing his 0-3 team is in a major deficit here. The enemies with point game right now.
The ball goes up. That's a beautiful block right there by Stewart. You know, Tima just did not think he was going to get it. So I think it's a really good timeout by Rick Mahorn. Tima was a little very agitated. If your player is saying call timeout, call timeout. It shows support for your player that you care about what they're thinking and feeling. It's just part of the game.
That was a remarkable block by Stewart, just climbing the ladder, pinning it on the backboard.
Yeah, it's out of his hand. He goes up and gets it. I'm not an official, although I play one on TV.
Don't we all? So under review for goaltending here.
Yes. So I'm anxious to see what this call is going to be.
Mary's your monitor working there?
Still remember the first time I saw Elijah Stewart in the Big 3. He had a block similar to this where he just is able to get up so high. It was on a Bring the Fire when he was on defense, and this is the play they're looking at. Just such a credible ability to guard the rim at his size.
He got it, to me, he got it right there before it hit the backboard.
Not successful.
So he went up and got it.
And that is unsuccessful. So Stewart and his 15 points at a block there.
I have a career in officiating.
You do. With the way you former coaches, or you former players and coaches can predict things, you might as well see it from that angle too.
I don't do a lot of predicting. But you know Dr. Phil. I did him a few times.
Sheedy looking for Tima. He is fouled hard. And he'll get to the free throw line with the enemies with point game in their lap.
Yeah, you just want to be able to, if they're going to cut, the last thing you want to do is foul. You know, you want to get the ball back on offense and do what you do best.
Tima has been battling today, 17 points. I'll make that 19.
Yeah, he just doesn't quit. You know, the guys, the Euro guys, they might be down, but they're not out. They work extraordinarily hard, and they have respect and love for the game, which is really cool.
17 of those points in the second half. Stewart can't convert the three. Bullets drains it. The enemy is still sitting on point game to even up their record at 2 wins and 2 losses apiece. Miller is going to take Tima one-on-one. He's collapsed upon and fouled. That's going to go on Bullets. Miller will inbound the ball. And Bullets immediately fouls. The enemy's in the bonus.
That doesn't make sense to me, because now he's going to get 2 points. He's going to shoot it. They have 6 fouls. I'm not sure what's going on here.
Oh, I thought that was
because
the
it was their
case.
6th foul. He should have been shooting.
And that's even bigger, Nancy, because it is supposed to be the one basket or one free throw for 2 points and possession. They try to put this game away still.
I need to see the rules again. Put them up.
Miller spinning in the paint. Still point game at 48. Bullets working his way through traffic. An awkward shot bounces out. And the enemies can win it on this possession. But a whistle on the floor. So a timeout, I believe called by the enemies. And Nick Young, the player coach today, Gilbert Arenas not with the team. So he's leading the huddle right now of the enemies, knowing they're just one basket away from moving to 2-2. Well, the enemies have an uphill climb. So if they string a couple of games together, we could be looking at them potentially in the playoffs, of which they have missed the last 3 seasons. 3 wins, 1 win, 2. And they returned this exact same team, Nancy, that went 2-4 last year. Just ran it back. And Nick Young has inserted himself into the game for what he hopes is the final basket. Crawford against Bullets. A difficult shot left short. Bullets, beautiful pass and an easy finish for Mushidi.
Yeah, he's been doing. When I first saw him, I went on YouTube and started looking at all of Dusan's highlights of passing and moves. Pretty unbelievable.
Just a maestro out there with that pass. Point game again. Crawford to Young was poked away by Tima, and the Aliens playing so hard right now.
And only 2.8 seconds on the clock, so you have to understand you can't throw the ball back out unless you're going to shoot a 4.
Stewart for 4, and Bullets. They're going to say it's a shot clock violation, not the lay-in. Disappointment on the faces of the Aliens, who felt like they were making a run here. They're within 11 right now. They trail by as many as 22 in this game. Bullets working hard in the paint, and he is fouled.
See, this is really what you don't want to do. You want to close these games out. You know, we saw a couple weeks ago the Triplets were up 11 points. It was like 47, 38, 39 in their game, and they ended up losing that game because it didn't end up closing it out. You have to have that finisher's mentality.
Bullitt, 1 free throw for 2 points. It's a single-digit game.
Exactly, and I know Swaggy P wanted to come in the game, but he's not a coach. You know, he's just being Swaggy P, and you got to be able to close these games out.
Crawford, one-on-one against Bullitt, trying to stand his ground. Crawford finishes this one off with a fadeaway. The enemies hold on to win 50-39. And improved to 2-2 this season. The Aliens dropped to 0-4, but they battled until the end. And we will see what happens in Week 5 in Miami next week. Look at that final shot once more.
Thank you so much.
That's just Jordan being Jordan, and he knew he had to close this thing out.
Swaggy, proud of his team. He thought it was going to come a little bit sooner, a couple possessions sooner, but he's able to pull out the victory in place of Gilbert Arenas. Here is the updated standings. Power, Triplets, Ghost Ballers, Killer Threes, all leading the way at 3-1. The enemies fall to 2-2. Things still stacked, but starting to see that separation here after Week 4, especially with those 4 teams at the top. That wraps up an incredibly entertaining day of hoops here in Memphis. For Nancy Lieberman and our entire crew, I'm Sloan Martin. Thanks so much for tuning in to Big 3 Basketball. We will see you next week in Miami. This has been a presentation of the Big 3. We'll catch you next week for Week 5.